Right now on Good Morning Northwest, a fire along I-82 near Prosser yesterday had multiple agencies racing to fight it. We have the latest.
The city of Ellensburg is working on an overnight shelter for people experiencing homelessness. We have an update on the progress they're making.
The Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation held a domestic violence summit. We have a look at some of the resources that are available.
And yesterday was the hottest day of the year. Today could be the hottest day of the year, part 2. We'll tell you just how hot we could be coming up right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. It is Wednesday, July 10th. And Jessica, I like how Josh put it, the hottest day of the year, part 2.
I know. I'm a little scared.
It is a little scary to hear something like that.
Pretty scary stuff. We'll check in with him now. Josh Colbreth, what do you mean, part 2?
I mean what I said. It could be just a repeat of some of the temperatures that we had for yesterday, especially in the Tri-Cities. Now for this morning, look at this, 78 degrees in Ellensburg already. That is quite profound. A little bit cooler down throughout the Yakima Valley, and we're seeing 60s and 70s as well for the lower Columbia Basin, low to mid 70s already for the lower Columbia Basin. So it's already t-shirt weather out there for some of us already at 5:01 in the morning. A little bit later today, it's going to be another day where we could be up around 110 degrees in the Tri-Cities. So we're still going to end up being about 20 degrees above average for this time of the year. And of course, I need to show this graphic again to really underscore how dangerous the heat can be. In the U.S. over the past 30 years, heat definitely the most deadly weather phenomenon, so we need everyone to exercise heat safety for today. If you're going to walk the pets, try to do that earlier in the morning. Of course, supply plenty of water, take plenty of breaks in the shade if you're going to be working outdoors, and check on all those vulnerable populations, especially the elderly.
Thank you, Josh. And as Josh has been reminding all of us all week, the fire danger is extremely high right now. So take a look at this. Firefighters from multiple agencies raced to help deal with this fire along I-82 near Prosser yesterday afternoon.
The fire was first reported around 1:30, and our crew saw air support fly in a couple of hours later. State Patrol did have to close down part of the interstate from time to time because of smoke and to give firefighters room to work.
In more fire news, some Sunnyside residents were asked to leave their homes last night when a fire broke out at XL Dairy Service.
The Grandview Fire Department spent the evening assisting Sunnyside firefighters with putting out the commercial structure fire. People in the area north of the business were asked to evacuate their homes, but were later allowed to return.
At least 2 houses were destroyed by fire on the 4th of July in the Tri-Cities and Yakima areas.
One of those fires happened on Melody Lane in Pasco. Apple Valley News Now spoke with the family who lost everything. Now, we first introduced you to the Lopez family last week. They operate the legal fireworks stand at Edison and Clearwater in Kennewick. The money each year goes toward their church, Faith Center International. On the night of the 4th, the family was helping close the fireworks stand when they got a call from Pasco Fire Department that their house was on fire and hardly anything was salvageable.
We're putting the stuff in the fireworks into storage, and we got a phone call, and they said, "Hey, your house is on fire." And at first I thought it was a joke, like, can't be. And they said, "No, your house looks like this with this type of door." First question we ask is, how is it? Is there anything we can save? And the fire chief said, it's pretty much all gone.
Now, no one was hurt in the Pasco fire. As for a cause, it's still unknown. Now, another blaze broke out on the night of the 4th as well.
Joel Johnston is asking the community for help after a fire destroyed his father's home and RV in Yakima. Johnston says a leaking propane tank caught a spark and ignited the fire, which quickly engulfed the house. Thankfully, everybody got out safely, and you can donate to both families on GoFundMe.
The Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation's Family Violence Services will hold a tribal, state, and federal summit focusing on domestic violence.
That's underway now at the Wild Horse Resort and Casino. It's set to continue through Thursday. Riley Fitzgerald has a look at some of the resources that are available.
It's a 3-day event here at Wild Horse Resort and Casino, walking through various aspects of addressing intimate partner violence. That started yesterday. This year's summit follows the 2022 Violence Against Women Act renewal, which expanded tribal courts' criminal jurisdiction to cover non-native suspects of sexual assault, child abuse, stalking, and sex trafficking. I talked with Desiree Coyote about how this recent legislation is impacting tribal nations in our area and about what's next.
Oftentimes, when systems step in for domestic violence or sexual assault, they take care of it right then and there, and then they're gone. But for the victims and the families impacted by the violence, it's a lifelong process. So sometimes the way that the policies or laws are written, it does more harm than good to those who are entangled with the systems.
The push for change started in 2010, when tribal nations were given the ability to prosecute non-natives who committed domestic violence on tribal lands. In 2022, that was extended to include sexual assault crimes, child abuse, and property damage. While that change is important, Coyote says this summit at Wild Horse is meant to bring the systems forward to understand why these laws are important and how to incorporate them in a way to benefit the people. She says right now, the language in the laws can sometimes hurt more than help.
But when you take a look at where our children are, Indigenous children are, and the number of them that are in the juvenile system or jails or trafficked, and many of them are because the system removes them from home.
She says they're trying to make changes happen now, not in the future.
We've made those changes at the state level. Now working with Oregon Department of Human Services in regards to child welfare, I want to say the last 5 years, in how they work with families who are impacted by domestic violence and children. So still more work to do there.
The event continues today and tomorrow, expanding on those topics. It is free to anyone. Reporting in Pendleton, I'm Riley Fitzgerald with Good Morning Northwest.
Thank you, Riley. Now, the city of Ellensburg has been working on a plan to build an overnight shelter they're calling a sleep center for people experiencing homelessness, but progress is slow going.
Experts picked the site of Hope Source's incoming Pathways Affordable Housing project on Ruby Street, nearby business owners and parents of children of a local daycare pushed back, and Hope Source asked the city in a letter to remove its site from the shortlist. There are still 4 possible locations, but the city is now looking for a short-term fix.
I think we're recognizing that is not going to happen this winter, so we need to get something in place to fill that gap from the Ministerial Association not being able to do the cold weather shelter.
Coming up later this morning, how the city and county are partnering together to make sure people have a safe place to go this winter. And straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a new survey finds that about 72 million women in the United States have skipped or delayed a health screening.
The reasons why are more common than you might think. That's coming up in your health headlines.
Life can be hard. With Culligan, your water doesn't have to be.
How do you picture your retirement? Is it full of connection with the people you love? Are you enjoying life's greatest joys? Can you conveniently access healthcare services from home? This is Senior Living with Avamere at Englewood Heights. Avamere is more than just a home. It's an active retirement lifestyle. Experience assisted living and memory care that's more than just a home. Schedule your tour today.
A lot is changing in our community right now. New roads, new schools, and new opportunities. We're growing, and that means there are more cars on our streets than ever before. That's why we're expanding our facilities and services. So no matter what roads lie ahead, you'll always find your way home.
Find your way home in a new 2024 Chevy Silverado with financing as low as 1.9% from McCurley Chevrolet.
Tiffany Smiley is not who she says she is.
Tiffany Smiley started a PAC claiming to raise money to support conservative candidates, but contributions were funneled to pay off her own $1 million campaign debt.
Of the almost $800,000 she raised, only $24,800 went to candidates. Instead, Tiffany used the money on luxury travel and to try to pay off her massive debt.
Tiffany Smiley deceived her donors. Don't let her deceive you.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
Walla Walla Regional Airport, the gateway to your next vacation. As spring and summer travels approach, plan your flights through Walla Walla Airport. We offer free parking, and we have 2 Alaska flights to Seattle daily, making your travel easy and convenient. Take the time off, explore the world, and create memories that will last a lifetime. Walla Walla Airport, your connection to your next vacation. Book today. AlaskaAir.com. Your destination awaits.
What have we got?
The Andersons. All night tossing and turning, bad backs, sleep score at an all-time low.
Round up the team.
At Denver Mattress, going undercover is literally how we solve problems.
And when we find sleepers waking up with aches and pains, we turn to the Tempur-Pedic Adapt, designed for ultimate pressure relief that uniquely adapts to your body's pressure points. The Tempur Adapt features innovative technology, so you get deep, undisturbed rest all night long.
Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Should we take a look at? What do you think?
So here, from design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $500 off your tub or shower remodel.
Hello there. Watch Live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. A new Gallup poll finds an estimated 72 million women in the U.S. have skipped or delayed a recommended health screening. It found 90% of women acknowledge the importance of regular health screenings, but more than 40% have skipped or delayed a test. And more than 60% responded it was hard to make their own health a priority. Now that's because women spend more time being caregivers for others or have work or family obligations keeping them out of the doctor's office. The latest study focused on cancer screenings. Specifically, 41% of U.S. women delayed or skipped screenings for breast cancer, 35% for cervical cancer, and 33% for colorectal cancer. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, it is so hot in Washington that WashDOT workers had to repair a road that had become damaged from the heat. Details coming up. But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Culberth has your first alert local weather forecast. Stay with us.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Hermiston, Road 68 in Pasco, and the new location on West Court Street. July 10th is a 7-10 sale from 8 to 10 p.m. at all 6 locations. This year is off the charts. Get 50% off glass, free goodie bags for the first 300 people through the door, free tacos from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. only at our Kennewick location. Don't miss the huge savings on the one-day July 10th 7-10 sale at all 6 locations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Car wreck, I'm here to help you.
His caring and supportive nature created a bond, and he shares that with every client he has.
Stacy always says really good things about me.
I got T-boned at an intersection. Ended up having a back injury. Mariano got me about 50 times more than I thought I was going to get.
I did my best, and she got way more than she expected.
Can't thank Mariano enough. I mean, he is the guy.
Call 853-2222.
Deer Unleashed. No one knows the feeling of freedom quite the way you do. But damned if we don't come really, really close. Let's break the chain. Yours, Tundra.
Right now, you can lease a new 2024 Tundra for just $579 per month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Save now with stock reduction savings in Bi-Mart's latest savings book, including Ball regular and wide mouth canning jars and lids. Bi-Mart, your employee-owned membership store.
Visit us at our new urban wine bar in historic downtown Kennewick. Choose from a variety of wines and food from our expanded menu. Enjoy time with friends old and new. After hours with riverfront views from our shaded patio, we are Mireille Gaston Wine Bar.
The journey home can look a little different to everyone. That's why our expert technicians are here to make sure that wherever you feel at home, whether it's when you're hard at work, surrounded by loved ones, or cheering them on from the sidelines, you get there. Because we know a vehicle is really more than a vehicle. It's your way home.
Drive home in a new Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 for only $649 a month.
This is Rhonda. She's a soul line dance instructor. And this is Rhonda's Good Feet story.
I love dancing, but I had foot pain and hated the fact that I had to sit out a couple dances. But since visiting the Good Feet store and wearing the arch supports, I definitely have not felt the pain. I am able to dance longer, feel happier. My energy levels have increased. Once that energy gets into you and you're feeling good, double spins.
Get back out there with arch supports from the Good Feet store.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at AppleValleyNewsNow.com and our mobile apps. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at the Columbia River. We're seeing some haze up in the sky, and it's not going to be like that for the entirety of the day. In fact, we're thinking that even the light haze for this morning should mostly clear out as we head into the afternoon. Right now, we're already in the 60s and 70s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. The same thing with the lower Columbia Basin, and it's the same thing for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. A little bit later today, it is going to be another very hot one. Will continue to be about 20 degrees, 15 to 20 degrees above average for this time of the year. So more triple digits for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, right up around 110 degrees once again for the lower Columbia Basin, and then 90s and triple digits for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. Today's going to be very blustery, winds gusting out of the west and northwest between 20 to 45 miles per hour, the fastest wind gust being in the Kittitas Valley, and that will spell trouble when it comes to fire impacts, as fire fuel energy today in terms of historical percentiles is pretty much going to be maxed out, up into the 99th percentile for Kittitas and Yakima counties. Factor in the winds, fires could start and spread very rapidly. We're also going to be up into the 99th percentile for the lower Columbia Basin and up into the 97th percentile for the Blue Mountains. Now for tonight, the winds will calm down a bit, but still gusting between 20 to 40 miles per hour. The fastest wind gusts continue to be in the Kittitas Valley. Other than that, pretty clear skies and mild overnight lows, although we might be just a little bit cooler compared to what we're seeing for this morning, with 60s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. Same thing for the lower Columbia Basin, and it's also going to be 60s for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. Will finally be much cooler for Thursday, but not necessarily cool, as we'll still be up into the triple digits. And it's going to be the same thing for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So more prolonged heat. That means that we're going to have more extreme fire weather. Going with the First Alert Extreme Impact Fire Day, obviously for today, but also for tomorrow right through Monday, as our fuels are going to continue to be pretty dry. Here are some of the fire fuel energy metrics for tomorrow, still up into the 99th percentile for Kittitas and Yakima counties, also maxed out for the lower Columbia Basin, and the same thing for the Blue Mountains. So please, you have to exercise extreme fire vigilance out there. And we're also concerned about lightning-induced fire starts, especially for the Blue Mountains, as there is that little chance for thunderstorms for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Cascades. We'll have our last day of 80s for today, and then it's looking like we'll just have 70s for Thursday and beyond. For the Kittitas Valley, a very dangerous fire setup for today, but tomorrow and all the other days definitely aren't anything to scoff at either. Then for the Yakima Valley, near 105 for today, and then we'll hover right around 100 degrees from Thursday through Tuesday. For the lower Columbia Basin, looks like 7 more days of triple digits. Then for the foothills of the Blues, we'll have our last day of triple digits for today's down into the 90s for Thursday through Tuesday. And then for the Blue Mountains, we'll track that lightning potential for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Could bear a lot of relevance to the potential of fire starts.
Thank you, Josh. And now here, we're not the only ones that are feeling the heat. Some 20 states, including Washington, are under heat alerts today. And that'll come as no surprise to some of you, and Josh as well, but some of the impacts that the extreme temperatures are having might. It's now so hot in some places that glass is shattering and helicopters cannot fly right. And that's among many other things. Amy Kiley has more on what's happening.
In the window, it was just like sizzling from the heat.
Some 20 states are under heat alerts today, and a few of the impacts might be surprising. Around Las Vegas, it's so hot, glass has been shattering.
That pane that's facing the sun can actually get up to close to 300 degrees. The glass starts to expand. It has nowhere to go.
The heat's also impeding aircraft. It reduces lift by making the air less dense. The National Park Service says that prevented a helicopter rescue in California's Death Valley recently. Airlines say they've had to change flight times to cooler hours of the day. In Oregon, officials say the heat is contributing to smog.
Try to avoid having an idling engine. If you need to refuel your car, do so at a time like a cooler time in the evening.
Temperatures in California are affecting how produce grows.
When we get these kind of extreme temperatures like this, we see a lot of our produce, whether it's fruits and nuts, as well as vegetables, they can actually slow down a little bit on the ripening side.
Experts say cows make less milk when it's hot, and to them this summer has been boiling.
I believe cows, they get hot at about 68 degrees, so this time of year is really hard on them.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
In more heat-related news, it's so hot in our state that the Washington State Department of Transportation says it had to repair a buckled road. And here's a look at the damage that washed-out workers fixed on Monday. This is in Skagit County on State Route 11. Now, it's not just the asphalt on top that's buckled, but also the concrete underneath. Other roads in the state have also buckled under this heat. And again, about 20 states are under heat alerts today. Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, it's been 24 years since Gladiator came out, and the sequel is due this year. When we come back, we've got a sneak peek at the Gladiator sequel that's sure to be your Roman Empire. Keep it here. We'll be right back with your entertainment headlines.
I'm Eduardo Morfin. Morfin Law Firm thanks you for 5 years of support. Remember, when choosing an attorney, select a local attorney that supports your local community.
Why do you Goodwill? Well, there are countless reasons.
I come for the thrill of a deal, and I never miss out on the 50% off tag.
I like to hunt the bins for hidden gems.
Goodwill lets you define your style with unique gifts and treasures around every corner.
And giving back to your community just feels wonderful.
With hundreds of reasons to shop at Goodwill, you can feel great about knowing 95.7 cents of every dollar you spend helps your community. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
The Y Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Welcome to Premier Woodworks, your premier source for custom cabinetry and full-service interior design. Our custom designs are brought to life with 3D images to help you visualize the final result. Our high-quality cabinetry is crafted with care and attention to detail. From kitchen and bath design to remodel project management, we're here to make your dream space a reality. Premier Woodworks, located at 109 North Washington Street in Kennewick.
Attention all Hanford and PNNL workers and contractors. Join United Energy Workers Healthcare for a free lunch and learn resource fair on Friday, July 19th at the Three Rivers Convention Center in Kennewick from 11 to 2 p.m. You may qualify for additional healthcare benefits and financial compensation. Learn more at our free lunch and learn resource fair on Friday, July 19th at the Three Rivers Convention Center in Kennewick from 11 to 2 p.m.
With savings this explosive, the extended 4th of July sale at Furniture Row is resulting in some very interesting reactions.
So that's $300 off the dining set and $800 off the sectional. Dude.
With over $500 off the bedroom and $200 off the mattress, you are saving $700 today.
Whoa! Plus, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, and 5 years, no interest. When you save this much, you'll be seeing fireworks too. But hurry, the extended 4th of July sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Shelby's Floral, your homegrown neighbor with worldwide connections for over 45 years. Shelby's, more than just a flower shop, specializing in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. We're unique and we're here for all life's occasions all year long. Shelby's Floral at the corner of Clearwater and Edison in Kennewick is still open, and we're having a sale. Stop by today and let our experienced designers help you with all of your floral needs. Shelby's Floral.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In today's entertainment news, two very different sneak peeks and the latest film for an Oscar-winning actress. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
You have something. I knew it from the start. Did you know? Rage. And rage is your gift. Whose head could I give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Too much.
The general will do.
The first trailer is out for Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2, starring Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Connie Nielsen, and Denzel Washington. The long-awaited sequel to the Oscar-winning 2000 original arrives in theaters November 22nd.
123.
This isn't like an auction, right?
Yes.
You guys are gonna take it away.
Jennifer Lawrence may not smile much in her next movie. The Oscar winner is set to produce and star in Why Don't You Love Me for A24. It's being adapted from a graphic novel described as a pitch-black comedy about marriage, alcoholism, depression, and mourning lost opportunities.
Good morning, Bikini Bottom! Good morning, Sandy!
It's not a good morning for long in Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. When their home is scooped out of the ocean, Sandy and SpongeBob head to the surface to save the town. Netflix just floated the first trailer for the animated adventure, which debuts on the streaming service August 2nd. Believing in myself in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Believing in myself too, David Daniel. And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, we're dealing with a lot of excessive heat, and a place you can cool off at is the library. We hear from the Associate Director with Mid-Columbia Libraries on why that could be your best option. And the NATO summit opened yesterday with an announcement from President Biden what he plans to supply Ukraine with. That's all coming up in just a few minutes.
In today's Tech Bites, Samsung's highly anticipated unpacking event is today. The company is expected to announce new foldable phones and smartwatches and reveal details on the Galaxy Ring. Reports say the Ring could cost around $450. That's about $150 more than its chief rival, Aura. Next, Google Maps is finally bringing its speedometer to iPhone and CarPlay users. Android has had the feature since 2019 and Waze since 2016. But now iPhone users can gauge their speed directly through Google Maps. Finally, dating app Bumble is cracking down on fake profiles. Users can now report if someone is using AI-generated images. The move aims to enhance safety on the platform. A survey by Bumble found 71% of Gen Z and millennials want limits on the use of AI-generated content. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Because there are people out there who aren't you. A lot of them. And you don't drive like, whoa.
I don't want my child being raised by a robot.
Other drivers are not you.
Yes, thank you so much to all 50 of my subscribers.
Nope, definitely not you. Save with DriveWise and get a rate based on you. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Milk chocolate beyond words. Classic recipe by Lindt.
I love that my daughter still needs me, but sometimes I can't help due to burning and stabbing pain in my hands. So I use Nervive.
Nervive's clinical dose of ALA reduces nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days.
Now I can help again. Feel the difference with Nervive.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, a teen in Washington had to have his hand amputated after a fireworks injury. We hear from him this morning on what happened. President Biden opened the NATO summit by announcing plans to supply new defenses to Ukraine. We have the details. If you're looking for a place to cool off, the library is an option for you. We hear from the Associate Director with Mid-Columbia Libraries.
And speaking of the heat, yes, it will be dangerous today, but fire weather impacts will also be up there for today. I'll tell you how to prep for that coming up right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. It is Wednesday, July 10th. And my goodness, it is a hot one out there.
Josh was calling it the part 2 of the hottest day of the year,
yes.
I believe.
Yeah, so I guess we're expecting more of what we saw yesterday.
Get your fans ready. If you've got portable fans, get
Water.
your deodorant ready, because I'm going to be sweating. We're all probably going to be sweating. We'll check in now with our chief meteorologist, Josh Colbreth. Josh, what are we seeing today?
By the way, the deodorant part.
Yes.
Really underscore that. Yeah, today is going to be another hot one, also a very dangerous day as it pertains to fire starts. More on that in a second, but first, already 60s and 70s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, also 60s and 70s for the lower Columbia Basin, and we're also seeing that for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. A little bit later today, 110 for the Tri-Cities, 108 for Hermiston, 105 for Walla Walla, so another day where we'll experience oppressive heat, where we'll continue to be about 20 degrees above average for this time of the year, and that means our fuels are going to continue to be very dry, which is why today is a first alert extreme impact fire day, as again, the fuels will be dry, the winds will be picking up, especially in the Kittitas Valley. So for the entire region, avoid tossing burning cigarettes on the ground, avoid parking hot vehicles on dry vegetation, and I would start to gather that fire evacuation kit and that go bag together right now. And I'll show you some of the metrics, some of the data to back up just how dry our fuels are for today, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Well, we have talked about how important it is to give yourself a break from the extreme heat we're seeing across the region this week. And one option is the library.
Mid-Columbia Libraries offer a space for those who are looking for a place to cool down. The Associate Director with Mid-Columbia Libraries says anyone is allowed to go in and take a break from the heat at any time the libraries are open. He also says being able to provide this free resource to people in a time of need is what the library is all about.
I mean, that's what the library is. We offer resources to maybe people that don't have them, whether that's books, internet access, computer access technology, and even something as simple as cooling. I mean, you don't think about it till you're in the hottest days and you're experiencing a broken AC, or it's too hot to be anywhere else. And again, we're completely free. So while some other places you could go and cool down for a bit, they charge you to be there, and we don't.
Libraries will serve as cooling centers for the duration of the summer.
Every year, people are injured by fireworks on the 4th of July.
This morning, we're hearing from a Washington teen who had to have his hand amputated after a firework exploded while he was holding it. Julie Calhoun has the story.
I was one of those horror stories that I was always told about, like, hey, stay away from the fireworks, you're gonna blow your hand off. Quite literally, that exactly happened.
But Riley Baumgartner's story is different. He was at a family friend's 4th of July event where fireworks were being set off. Riley says someone there was intoxicated and threw a sparkler bomb.
When I seen them like light it and just toss it a few feet in front of them, I was instantaneously scared. I was like, as soon as this thing goes off, they're blind or dead.
But the scariest part, 2 young children ran toward it, and Riley jumped into action and grabbed the lit firework.
I went to go throw it, and as soon as I got about here, boom. And I was like, oh, whoa. And I looked down and there was just nothing there.
Medics rushed Riley to Harborview Medical Center. Surgeons had to amputate his damaged right hand. He also suffered burns on his body.
I ran out there and I just put myself in front of it because I'd rather it be me than anybody else.
After 5 days, Riley is now out of the hospital and just beginning his recovery.
Yeah, I know.
And the realization that his life is changed forever.
I just gotta do this at least 3 times a day, every day for 30 minutes.
Doctors say he can't work for 2 months.
I called my job. I'm a lifeguard. I'm not gonna be able to lifeguard anymore. I can't give someone CPR without a hand. I can't swim good without a hand.
The accident taking a physical and emotional toll.
I want to be able to take care of myself. I want to be able to stand up and not hurt. I want to be able to tie my pants and tie my shoes.
But there's one thing getting him through the pain.
Knowing that the kids are okay is really the only thing that's keeping me going.
New this morning, we have the dramatic video showing the rescue of an injured hiker on Oregon's Mount Hood.
Authorities say a 55-year-old hiker was critically injured after falling 700 feet down a frozen surface Saturday. A couple of off-duty military medics saw him fall and were able to reach him to help.
2 forest rangers who also were in the area and provided first aid to the injured climber. A number of agencies worked together to get the man off the mountain and to a hospital, including the State National Guard's 189th Aviation Regiment. At last check, the injured hiker from Arizona was listed in critical but stable condition.
Around the world now, famine has spread across the entire Gaza Strip, according to a statement by the United Nations. The recent deaths of more Palestinian children from hunger and malnutrition have led to this. In June, a deterioration in the humanitarian situation was reported after the launch of Israel's military operations in Rafah. The Rafah crossing, which is a crucial route for humanitarian aid to Gaza, has been closed since early May.
The UN says humanitarian aid workers continue to face risks while trying to distribute aid to Gaza. A majority of the humanitarian work in Gaza has been destroyed in Israel's conflict with Hamas. Well, President Biden opened the NATO summit yesterday by announcing plans to supply new air defenses to Ukraine, including the Patriot systems.
The much-needed support will be provided by the U.S. and several other NATO allies and will help strengthen Kyiv against ongoing Russian aerial attacks. The announcement comes just one day after Ukrainian officials say at least 22 people were killed in Russian strikes, including one on the country's largest children's hospital.
Today, I'm announcing the historic donation of air defense equipment for Ukraine. The United States, Germany, the Netherlands, Romania, and Italy will provide Ukraine with the equipment for 5 additional strategic air defense systems. And in the coming months, the United States and our partners intend to provide Ukraine with dozens of additional tactical air defense systems. The United States will make sure that when we export critical air defense interceptors, Ukraine goes to the front of the line.
Biden spoke from the Mellon Auditorium, which is where the North Atlantic Treaty was signed in 1949, creating the military alliance. In his speech, Biden said NATO is, quote, stronger than it's ever been in history.
Now, we've talked a lot about the extreme heat that we're seeing. We're now learning that it can also have an impact on the lavender harvest on the west side of the nation.
The owners of one small farm in California say they've already changed their workday schedule to keep harvesting despite the triple-digit heat.
When Mother Nature says it's ready no matter if it's 110 out or 85. We got to get it off the plant and processed.
Triple digits really hinders us during the middle of the day. We just need to take a break and stop and kind of split our day. So we'll work until about noon or 1 o'clock and then let the temperatures cool down and pipe back up in the evening.
The owners say they typically start harvesting at 5:30 in the morning.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, each year we hear a tragic story of a child losing their life after being left in a hot car.
And oftentimes the ones it happens to never thought it would happen to them. Up next, we hear tips from an auto safety expert on how to prevent this type of tragedy from happening.
Danny was rear-ended by a semi-truck. Serious injuries.
Mariano's reputation and experience gave him an advantage over the insurance company.
Daniel got paid a lot.
He lives up to his reputation, which is somebody who gets results.
Call 853-2222. Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Hermiston, Road 68 in Pasco, and the new location on West Court Street. July 10th is a 710 sale from 8 to 10 p.m. at all 6 locations. This year is off the charts. Get 50% off glass. Free goodie bags for the first 300 people through the door. Free tacos from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. only at our Kennewick location. Don't miss the huge savings on the one-day July 10th 710 sale at all 6 locations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Are you suffering from stomach pain, a sprained ankle, or does your child have cold or flu-like symptoms?
When sudden illness or minor injuries occur, Astrea Rapid Care is here for you. Our providers can see you right away with no appointment necessary. Astrea Rapid Care is the place for minor emergencies, sprains, cuts, and more, with convenient locations in Prosser, Sunnyside, and Toppenish. Astrea Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
Okay, guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines for just $90.
Sorry, just double checking. Is it really that good of a deal?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. You also get 4 free phones of your choice.
4 free phones! Wow, I just triple checked and that's awesome.
So go get that deal. Or at least help me clip. Do you check the expiration dates?
Oh, I can do that.
Great.
Get 4 free phones of your choice with no trade-in needed, plus 4 lines for $90.
Whether you're most at home surrounded by lots of friends, hanging with your one best friend for an afternoon cruise, or...
No way! Not a chance. Could you show us something with a little less horsepower?
I was thinking the same thing.
At McCurley, we're here to help you find the vehicle that's right for you, because it's your way home.
Find your way home in a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle from McCurley Mazda.
Communist China poses an economic and national security threat to America.
And Dan Newhouse is the leader in Congress fighting for our security.
Dan stood up to Communist China and wrote the bill to stop them from buying up American farms and ranches.
And Dan's working to secure the border and stop the flow of deadly Chinese fentanyl through Mexico and into our communities.
Where Joe Biden fails us, Dan Newhouse fights for us.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message to stand up to Communist China and to secure our border.
Danny was rear-ended by a semi-truck. Serious injuries.
Mariano's reputation and experience gave him an advantage over the insurance company.
Daniel got paid a lot.
He lives up to his reputation, which is somebody who gets results.
Call 853-2222.
The best way to end your day.
That is good TV.
Friends, tonight at 11:05.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Each summer, we hear about children tragically losing their lives after being left or becoming trapped in a hot car. On average, there are about 40 hot car deaths among U.S. children per year, according to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
ABC's Perry Russum has tips from an auto safety expert on how to prevent this type of tragedy.
It's easy to think it couldn't happen to you.
We all think that, we would never forget our children with us. And as precious as they are to us, for our brains, we go into autopilot mode.
It's an unfortunate reality that children die of heat stroke in hot cars. Dr. Emily Thomas, manager of auto safety at Consumer Reports, says even when it's not that hot outside, temperatures inside a car can rise to a dangerous level.
We did testing on a 60-degree day, and within 1 hour, the inside of the vehicle got to be over 100 degrees.
The heat poses a greater risk for children. Their bodies heat up 3 to 5 times faster than adults, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. Dr. Thomas says parking in the shade or cracking a window is not enough. And although some newer vehicles have alerts to remind you to check the back seat, Dr. Thomas says oftentimes the tech does not directly sense for a rear passenger, so it's important not to rely on these systems.
Oftentimes, these cases occur when there is a change in routine. Parents or caregivers are sleep deprived and they're stressed, which is very typical. And so we really encourage caregivers to do a few different things to help make it part of your routine.
Even when your child is not traveling with you, Dr. Thomas suggests keeping something of yours in the back seat.
Whether it's your jacket or your purse, a laptop bag, something of yours that at the end of the trip you have to go to the back seat to go retrieve. Then when your child is with you, it's already part of your brain's memory and part of your habit to do so. And so you will check the back seat at the end of the trip.
And when your child is with you, put something of theirs on the front seat, like a stuffed animal or sippy cup.
It provides your brain with a visual trigger that will tell you to check the back seat because your child is with you.
And if you don't have children, Dr. Thomas says you can be a good neighbor.
You can keep your vehicles at home always locked and the keys out of reach so that children in your neighborhood cannot access vehicles and get trapped inside.
Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
If you see a child alone in a car in the heat, call 911 to help get them out.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Target is no longer accepting a certain type of payment. We'll tell you what you'll no longer be able to pay with when we come back.
But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth has your first alert full forecast. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at AppleValleyNewsNow.com and our mobile apps.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Apple Valley Eats.
All right, so my job here is the food and beverage executive chef. I've been here 10 years. Started off here as an entry-level cook. I was given the opportunity to step into the executive chef role, which is the position that I'm in. I've been in that position for about 6 years now, almost. What I do here, I handle not so much the day-to-day operations, but everything that goes into the menu planning, the SOPs for all of the cooks, recipes, ensuring all the recipes are all the same, the consistency, the vision of the food and beverage department as far as the aesthetics, what is it gonna look like, what does the food preparation look like. We have everything from catering, fast food, employee meals, which is a cafeteria style setting, and then obviously our bread and butter, what we do, a buffet here at Legends. What we like to do here is try to keep our team members happy, try to be versatile with them, try to be flexible, whatever needs that they may have. We try to accommodate. We do have childcare here on property, so if somebody needs to drop their kids off at childcare, that option's always there. You could come into our department with no experience at all, but we're gonna show you how to hold a knife, we're gonna show you how to cut vegetables, we're gonna show you how to cut meat, we're gonna show you how to use all the equipment. Is the comfort of knowing that I'm gonna have my consistent 40 hours a week. And that goes from everywhere from a dishwasher all the way up to my position. It's another benefit of working here at Legends. I like to think of it more as a career rather than a job.
These are real people seeking solutions to real problems.
I have plantar fasciitis.
Pain with my feet, my knees.
Feet, knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports.
I definitely feel the heel to toe walk. I'm not feeling any pain, especially in my heel. That's where I always feel it.
I don't feel the knee pain.
I didn't notice any pain in my back.
I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Oh, you're a blessing in disguise.
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got you covered. We offer a variety of buildings and sheds that come with a 5-year limited warranty, free delivery, and setup. Whether you're ready to custom create your space or just need extra storage, we're here to help every step of the way. All in-stock buildings can be delivered within 7 to 10 days and custom builds in 3 to 4 weeks. So what are you waiting for? Find your perfect building or shed today with Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds in West Richland.
Summer in our area usually means great weather.
Hot days and warm evenings are the norm.
But every so often, a storm moves in with dangerous wind, lightning, and rain.
Count on Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather to warn you in advance of coming storms.
With First Alert Weather, we're helping you plan ahead, so you'll be ready when the weather gets a little crazy. Stacey Lee evenings, Josh Colbreth mornings. We're Apple Valley News Now. First Alert Weather, on your side.
On your side.
Always on your side.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at Yakima, this view coming atop the Tanum Ridge, and you can see maybe a little bit of a light haze up in the sky for this morning. Any haze that we do have will be pretty light, and it's mostly going to be out of here come time for the PM hours. Look at this, already 60s and 70s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, the same thing for the lower Columbia Basin, and it's the same thing for the foothills of the Blues. A little bit later today, we're going to be just about as hot as yesterday, still about 20 degrees above average for this time of the year, so triple digits for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, right around 110 again for the Tri-Cities, and then 90s and triple digits for the foothills of the Blues. Unlike yesterday, today will feature some pretty gusty winds, gusting out of the northwest and northwest, upwards of 20 to 45 miles per hour, with the fastest wind gusts being in the Kittitas Valley. And that spells trouble when it comes to fire impacts, as we're going with the First Alert Extreme Impact Fire Day, just given that our fire fuel energy will be up into the 99th percentile when you compare it to historical values. So very dry stuff for Kittitas and Yakima counties, and then you factor in the winds. That means that fires could start and spread very quickly. We'll also be up into the 99th percentile for the lower Columbia Basin, and the same thing for the Blue Mountains. So again, it's going to be a very hot and a very dry day. And then for tonight, the winds are still going to gust between 20 to 40 miles per hour, with the fastest wind gusts continuing to be in the Kittitas Valley. Other than that, we should have some pretty clear skies, and overnight lows might be a little bit cooler compared to what we're experiencing for this morning, with 60s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. Same thing for the lower Columbia Basin, and the same thing for the foothills of the Blues. We will be cooler for tomorrow, but not necessarily cool, as we'll still be up into the triple digits for the Tri-Cities. We'll hold on to that through at least Tuesday. So just given that this hot weather is going to be prolonged, that means that our fuels are going to continue to be pretty dry, which is why we're going with more first alert extreme impact fire days into tomorrow and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Here's some of the fire fuel energy metrics that we're expecting for tomorrow. It's kind of the same thing, up into the 99th percentile for Kittitas and Yakima counties. The same thing for the lower Columbia Basin, and even drier for the Blue Mountains. And we're also concerned about lightning-induced fire starts, not necessarily through Saturday, but for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, there is that small chance of a thunderstorm, specifically up in the Blue Mountains. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Cascades. Our last day of 80s will be for today, and then we'll just have 70s for Thursday and beyond. For the Kittitas Valley, a very dangerous fire setup for today. Looks pretty dangerous for Thursday and for all the other days as well, but today is definitely the most dangerous, just given how windy it's going to be. For the Yakima Valley, we'll be near 105 for today, and then around 100 from Thursday through Tuesday. And for the lower Columbia Basin and for the Tri-Cities, it looks like we have 7 more days of triple digits in store. Then for the foothills of the Blues, today is going to be our last day of triple digits, down into the 90s for Thursday through Tuesday. And then for the Blue Mountains, tracking that lightning potential and that potential for fire starts for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Thank you, Josh. Starting next week, Target will no longer accept personal checks.
I didn't know they still do that. Well, the company says since most people aren't writing checks anymore, they're going to switch to only accepting other forms of payment. So things like cash, credit and debit cards, and or virtual options like Apple Pay. And this change is officially starting on July 15th.
When we return on Good Morning Northwest, a cancer patient decided not to let the disease define her life.
Instead of focusing on the negative, she focused on creating something positive for her whole community by creating a beautiful mural. We show you an in-depth look at what she created, and that's when we come back.
If you're hurt at work, your life can go into a downward spiral.
You're injured. You can't work. Your bills are piling up.
But winning workers' comp benefits isn't easy.
You're the underdog.
We'll fight labor and industries to get you the workers' compensation benefits you deserve.
If you were hurt at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411 for a free consultation. Bothwell and Hamill.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in. I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I am in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
Dear Unleashed. No one knows the feeling of freedom quite the way you do. But damned if we don't come really, really close. Let's break the chain. Yours, Tundra.
Right now, you can lease a new 2024 Tundra for just $579 per month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome to Beaver Valley Lodge, your rustic lodging and event venue in the beautiful Leavenworth, Washington. Experience the great outdoors and enjoy the beauty of the mountains as you stay with us on our 50 acres in the Cascade foothills. Whether you're joining us for a wedding, retreat, vacation, or family reunion, we're here to make your stay unforgettable. We make it our goal for you to come as a guest, but leave as a friend. Book your stay today at beavervalleylodge.com.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Get $5,750 total value on this Silverado LT when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Here's to feeling at home on mountain trails, playing by the river all day, exploring your favorite off-beaten paths and terrains, or simply savoring your favorite foods. Here's to Subaru season. Experience all our hometown summers have to offer with the new Subaru Outback from McCurley Subaru. Your way home.
Get a new Subaru Outback from McCurley Subaru today with 2.9% financing.
I think this is my favorite.
Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's get close to home, take a look at some of those hyper-local temperatures. And it is very warm this morning as we're in the 60s, even for Snoqualmie Pass and Cle Elum. 78 for Ellensburg, 75 for Vantage, already t-shirt weather in those locations. We are in the 60s and 70s for the Yakima Valley, 71 for Union Gap, 68 for Yakima proper, and 70 degrees for Toppenish. Then for Benton and Franklin counties, we're seeing temperatures also in the 60s and 70s. 73 for Benton City, 70 for Prosser, 69 for Umatilla, and then for the foothills of the Blues, also 60s and 70s, but cooler in the higher terrain of Meacham and Ukiah with 50s.
Thank you, Josh. Check this out now. So one woman in Alaska who saw her life sidelined by cancer decided not to let it define her.
Yeah, instead, it launched a project that she has continued for years. Dave Allgood has the story.
A real bee. Is that a real bee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen Jenkins cherishes her awe moments with her granddaughter Mina.
There's Mina's hands.
Those butterfly wings are Mina's hands. You see, in this quiet Anchorage suburb is a blue heaven. Nestled snugly between Karen's house and a neighbor is a magical pathway that features caterpillars and butterflies, ladybugs and dragonflies, and these.
And then the flowers, I grew by seed.
The blue walls that line this easement that connect the street to an elementary school are the sky, and on this side it's the ocean with smiling dolphins close to jumping off the fence and these clownfish lurking around and behind seagrass disguised as ferns.
Did you see my octopus? What? He's hiding.
An orca greets you on the far side and these majestic sea turtles swimming by as if to say hi. And of course...
And then the honeybees.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Gotta do the honeybees.
It was a few years back in 2016 that Karen got creative because she had to.
I needed something to focus on instead of my cancer and treatment.
We all need a place to get away. Some just need it more.
I discovered it on my own, didn't find it through the mammogram.
Breast cancer. Walking into the unknown.
It was pretty scary.
She just had to do something after treatment.
This used to be all weeds and full of trash. So I told them I wanted all the weeds torn up.
Now bees frequent and pollinate where trash used to collect and dominate.
So this easement is a public easement and it ties into Kassoon Elementary School.
We never know where our journey may lead, so Karen decided to paint and grow her own pathway. And these little butterflies?
The neighborhood kids, they did their handprints and wrote their names and ages.
Did this help to move on from cancer?
It did, and every summer I try to add more to the fenceway.
Did you catch that? The good news, she's had several post-cancer summers to expand her menagerie.
I'm cancer-free, been in remission for 7 years, so yay for me.
It took a bright vision from a dark place to rejuvenate this ramshackled easement to ease Karen's reminders of cancer.
It just helped.
So this is more than just a fish or just a flower or a butterfly. So much more. It's an evolution.
It just represents life and community and involvement.
Now